What's up, everybody? Nick Dwyer back for the 10th inning, here with another episode of This Day in Sports History. In yesterday's episode, we saw Cristiano Ronaldo become Real Madrid's all-time leading scorer across all competitions after he scored his 324th goal in a 3-0 win over Levante. We don't have anything from Cristiano Ronaldo today, but we have some NBA Hall of Famers making their debuts, we have some Olympic Games to get into, and some World Series to talk about. So if y'all enjoy this video, leave a like on it. If you're new to the channel, like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Let's get to it. This day in sports history. We will start out today though in college football in 1902 and in the 7th edition of the Iron Bowl, which is Auburn versus Alabama. Auburn would defeat Alabama via the shutout 23-0. To claim their 6th victory in 7 meetings in the early editions of this rivalry. Move all the way up now to 1960 in Major League Baseball, and Hall of Fame manager Casey Stengel would be fired by the New York Yankees 5 days after losing to the Pirates in Game 7 of the World Series, believing that he was too old to manage. But during his 12-year tenure with the Bombers, Stengel compiled a 1,149 and 696 record, 693 win percentage, while capturing 10 American League pennants and 7 World Series championships. 3 years later in 1963, the International Olympic Committee, or the IOC, would vote for Mexico City to host the 1968 Olympics. And speaking of the Olympics, not quite those games, but we started in 1964 in swimming. Australian Kevin Barry would set the world record in the 200-meter men's butterfly at 2 minutes 6.6 seconds. To win the gold, and this would be a record held for 3 years. Stay in swimming, but go to the men's 4x200 meter freestyle relay, and the American team anchored by Don Schollander would win in a world record 7 minutes 52.1 seconds. This would be Schollander's 4th gold medal of those games. Now we go to the 1968 Mexico City Olympics, and we will start out in track. In the long jump, American Bob Beamon would set the world record at 8.9 meters or 29 feet 2.5 inches, and this would be a world record held until 1991. Stay in those games, now go to the men's 400 meter, and the American athletes would sweep the medals as Lee Evans would win the gold medal in a world record 43.86 seconds, ahead of teammates Larry James, silver, and Ron Freeman, bronze. Move over to the women's 200 meter now in those games, and Polish sprinter Irena Swiatkowska would run a world record 22.58 seconds to win the 200 meter gold, and this would be a record held for 2 years. Finally in those games, in the women's 80 meter hurdles, there would be an Australian 1-2 as Maureen Kyard would win in an Olympic record 10.39 seconds, besting teammate Pam Kilbourne. 1 year later, moved to the NBA, and in 1969, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would make his debut for the Milwaukee Bucks at home against the Detroit Pistons in a game won by the Bucks 119-110. 5 years later, we have another debut in 1974 as Bill Walton would make his debut for the Portland Trail Blazers as they would play Cleveland, and Portland would end up winning this game 131-129. Stay in the NBA in 1974, and we have one of the most impressive feats in NBA history as Chicago Bulls' Nate Thurmond would become the first NBA player to complete a quadruple-double. Thurmond on the day, 22 points, 14 rebounds, 13 assists, 12 blocks in the Bulls' 120-115 overtime victory over Atlanta. There are 5 quadruple-doubles in NBA history, but it would be 12 years until another quadruple-double would happen, and that would be by Alvin Robertson in 1986. Now we move to Major League Baseball in 1977, and the New York Yankees would win their 21st World Championship of 27 overall in an 8-4 victory over the Los Angeles Dodgers in 6 games to win the series 4-2. Reggie Jackson would end up taking World Series MVP. Stay at the World Series in 1992, and yesterday we had the first non-American team play in the World Series in the Toronto Blue Jays, but this time we have the Toronto Blue Jays becoming the first non-American team to win a World Series game, as the Blue Jays would defeat the Braves 5-4. We end today's video off in 2009 with 2 separate events. We will start in the world of F1, and Jenson Button would finish 5th in the Brazilian Grand Prix to clinch his first and only F1 World Drivers' Championship. Finally, in the NFL, Tom Brady of the New England Patriots would throw 5 second-quarter touchdowns against the Tennessee Titans, an NFL record for one quarter, in a 59-0 victory over the Titans So there you have it. That's what happened on this day in sports history. If I left anything out, I do apologize. If I mispronounced any names, I also apologize. But I'll see everybody tomorrow for Nico Dwyer in the 10th inning.